Okay, so for this look today, I really wanted to go for like, you know, some ethereal, otherworldly, extraterrestrial Contact 1997. What is that? Jodie Foster. Great film, by the way. Highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out. I mean, everybody and their mama should have seen the movie by now, but I mean, it's an amazing movie. So when I look at these colors, I think of the movie Contact, you know, when she met her father, you know, in the other planet. And it was a really emotional moment because when she says dad, I just start crying. I don't want to talk about it, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Master Eye Prepping Set from Mario Badescu. Okay, for Makeup by Mario. Let's try that again. I'm going to start with the Master Eye Prepping Set from Makeup by Mario, and I use the shade Deep. And here's how that looks, and I always use this side for laying down on my lids just because I like the way it looks on my skin tone. As you can see, it's pretty deep in there, so I've actually, you know, been playing with this for quite a while. That's what he said. So I've actually already put that on my lids, and then of course I use the powder that's inside the compact to set it. So right now I'm kind of just going over it just one more time before I get started, and once I'm done with that, I will go ahead and go straight into the look. So overall, this look is pretty simple to put together. I'm going to start with Violet Void because this is just a beautiful, ethereal, extraterrestrial type of color for me. So I really want to put that, you know, right on the lids. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with that with my index finger. Just going to pack this on my lid. I mean, just look at that. Oh. Now that I have that applied, I'm going to go in the corner of my eye, just create a bit of a V, just a little bit, just to slightly smoke things up and just deepen the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with Smoked Amethyst. And this shade, I would definitely say, though I don't use MAC, I haven't used MAC, you know, in 10 years. When it comes to this particular shade, Smoked Amethyst, this reminds me a lot of a MAC shade that I used, and I cannot remember what shade it is. I think like, you remember, it was like these mineralized eyeshadows. I remember doing videos about them, and they came in, I think, 4 different colors. One was black, one was blue, one was red, and one was gold. And the one that was like a black and red, that's what this looks like. If you know what I'm talking about, put the name of that shade down there just for nostalgia's sake. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this again to just the corner. So again, I just packed that EF2 brush from Makeup by Mario, and I'm just gonna slightly bring this in a little bit and just deepen the corner there. Actually just switched to an E5 brush, and when I was thinking about it as I am smoking this out just a little bit, was it called Young Punk? Is that the name of it, Young Punk? That sounds so familiar to me. Let me know. I don't know why, it's just stuck in my mind about this particular eyeshadow shade. Or maybe the MAC shade was like more like red as opposed to like a black and purple. I'm not really sure, but that's just what it's, that's the memory I'm having right now. So I don't know, I'm just rambling. Don't mind me. And as I've laid that down, I will go in with an EF1 brush and no products on it. And I'm kind of just buffing out the edges because the focus is really just on the lids. So this is a very simple look. Now in the corner of my eye, I'm going to go in with Lunar Champagne. And this color, oh my god, it's like Fallout City. So just beware of that. There's actually several shades in this palette that have tremendous fallout. But I'm going to go in with that again with an E5 brush. And I'm just going to lightly pack it on to just create a bit of a gradient. Just this gold fusion that just goes into the purple. So as you can see, I'm kind of creating like a V as I apply it. So it's just like, you know, you see again the gold, and then it kind of just blends right into the purple. It's just creating this gorgeous look. I love this. You only want to take that about 1/4 of the way in to the lid. And now with the same brush, I'm going to go in with Cosmic and do the exact same thing. Just kind of lightly dust on top. So you have a fusion of not only this pink that's being introduced, but you also will still be able to see that champagne gold. Just hit the lid ever so gently. Oh, that's so pretty. Yes, 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 yes.
Call for Jonathan.
Alexa, stop. Now I'm just going back in with that EF1. Again, just softening any edges that are harsh. Her shadows really just kind of blend themselves, so there's really not much you have to do at all. I'm just kind of being extra with this. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. If this doesn't make you think of Contact, I mean, I don't know what will. Okay guys, now that I have that applied, I'm going to go ahead and apply lashes, liner, put shadow under the eyes as well, of course, to line the eye area, and I'll put on foundation, the works, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so here's the completed look, and I don't know about you, but I really love the way this turned out. Celestial Divinity is an 18 pan palette, which is something that Pat McGrath has never done. Retails for $78. I think overall it's a really fun palette. You do get some shimmer, there's a lot of shades in particular that have a lot of fallout, so definitely be wary of that. 3 of the 18 shades are matte, so at least you have something to use as a transition that's not, something that's satin or more, of a glitter or a shimmer type of shade. The shades, like any other Pat palette, they blend perfectly, kind of blend themselves, as I have said on many occasions. There's nothing wrong with the palette itself. I think it's really fun. I will say that as far as the shades that are offered, I think it is a bit disappointing that once again, there's a lot of purple, pink. There's just always something that's, a part of the purple and pink family, whether it be a tint or a shade, adding white or black. And, for me, I personally think that she needs to move away from that. We need something that, is different. Bring some blues, some greens. I mean, there's so many colors. I mean, why do we keep getting pink and purple? And it's just the same things over and over, because Divine Rose 1 and 2, it's basically the same thing. And then she came out with, I think, Rose Decadence, which was the 6-pan palette, Between You and Me. I haven't actually even touched that palette. I have it sitting here. I'm actually thinking about selling it. Maybe sell it for like 30 bucks or so to someone who actually wants to use it. I haven't actually touched it. Haven't even really looked at it. I just don't even want it. I kind of just bought it blindly. And I think that a lot of people do that with Pat McGrath in general. But let me get back to this palette first. This palette, the packaging, for me personally, I think this comes across as very cheap. This does not look like luxury to me. I don't understand. I don't get this. Not something that's greatly disappointing, but overall, it just does not scream luxury for me. Also, when you open this, it does have, so you can see it has these parts right here that actually holds this open, but I've seen many people actually break this very quickly. So again, this just adds to more of a cheap look overall, which again, for luxury, I'm not seeing that in this palette. But of course, on the bright side, at the end of the day, it really does come down to the products and how they perform. The products perform exactly like her mothership shades, just like any other eye shade that she's, actually made. So there's no issues with the performance. So the performance is top-notch quality. So definitely for 18 shades, $78, this is really a no-brainer in terms of should you purchase this. Now, I wasn't someone who actually collected or purchased Pat McGrath in the time of Star Wars and all of that, because I know that some of these shades have been repeated. So that means absolutely nothing to me personally. So for me, all of these shades are exciting to get, because for me, I'm sure there's probably something in here I have, since I do have some of the motherships. I only have 4 of the 8. And then of course I have, the Rose Decadence, which I haven't touched. There's another small 6-pan that I have as well. So for me, this was really fun to get just because it's beautiful. If you're somebody who has collected a lot of Pat and you're only going to get essentially 6 shades that are new out of this, should you buy this for $78? I would say no, but again, it's your money, so feel free to, do whatever you want with that, because most people have already bought this already. Because again, people buy, Pat McGrath, like, they just buy it blindly. Which brings me to my next point. So there was no way that I could do this video without talking about my experience with Pat McGrath in terms of the website and receiving my order. I received my order within 13 days of purchasing it. So it took nearly 2 weeks for this package to actually arrive to me, which was just greatly disappointing, very frustrating. This is something that happens every time I place an order with PatMcGrath.com. This is not something that's isolated to a launch. If I'm just buying something random, it always takes well over a week to arrive. And of course, I understand that we're in a pandemic, but I have ordered from many vendor websites and I've had no packages arrive as late as a Pat McGrath order, or slow, I should say. And I just think that it's unacceptable at this point. This brand is a monster of a brand. So this brand is not new. This brand is not trying to figure out their way, and they don't have, a huge company that owns them, and, they're just making things out of a, a garage or something. For them to not be able to ship merchandise out in a timely manner is absolutely unacceptable. And I would say the same thing for any other brand. I just think that at this point, I don't understand why everything is slow. And on Instagram, their customer service reached out to me. I gave them my order number. They basically just said that, they had a lot of orders, more than they had expected, which to me is a really big lie, because anything that Pat McGrath makes turns into gold, and everybody and their mama places an order. So that's bullshit. I mean, plain and simple. It makes no sense. And so, for me to have to wait so long, it just deters me from purchasing on the website. So with the rest of the holiday collection, when it, came out just recently, I didn't buy anything additional. I'm just just not interested. I'm not going to buy from a website that cannot ship merchandise in a timely manner. This has nothing to do with Pat McGrath as a person. This has nothing to do with Pat McGrath as far as her products are concerned, because again, I have spent a couple of thousand, at least well over $1,000, if not $2,000 on Pat McGrath in the past few months alone, because I am relatively a new Pat McGrath customer. For me personally, shopping on her website, I'm personally not going to be a customer on there. I'm really not interested in shopping on her website anymore until something can be rectified. And I'm sure many of you agree with what I'm saying, and some people may not want to say it and make that public out of fear of whatever. But again, if you know me, you know how I am. So I'm just going to be completely transparent and completely honest with you guys, as I always am. That's just how I feel. It's just very frustrating for me as a consumer, you know, for showing love to a brand, you know, and in return getting this. Go ahead and step off of that, and I have, you know, said what I wanted to say. I vented and I feel much better. But as far as this palette is concerned, beautiful palette, not luxurious packaging. Also, I will pose a question to you, or just pose an idea or a thought that I have about Pat McGrath. I am starting to feel that Pat McGrath, with all of these launches, is slowly but surely becoming a MAC of the luxury world. And we all know I haven't shopped with MAC since 2010 as, you know, an actual avid customer, where I would buy every collection and bring to you all on YouTube. So I'm wondering, am I the only one who's getting that feeling or that vibe? I'm just very curious. Definitely let me know if you have purchased this. I will of course leave a link to everything that's on my face, because I absolutely love this look. I will leave a link to the Divinity palette, Celestial Divinity, if you would like to order this. Of course, there are affiliate links, and I'll receive a small commission if you choose to do so. Thank you so very much, because it helps out the nation, helps out the channel. Definitely rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with a whole lot more, guys. Bye.